Welcome back to another edition of our Giving Tuesday, special edition of Grace 10314. We're joined here with Kathy Del Piore, Executive Director,
Hey there.
Jimmy Thompson Law,
Hey.
Vincent Innocente from Northfield Bank. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
We've been having a series of people come through today, people that are business leaders in the community and sharing their stories of interest and how Staten Island is special and what makes this borough, this island, a little bit more unique. We want to be able to talk about giving, right? We're coming up on giving season, and there's all different ways to be able to give, not just financially, but voluntarily with time and effort and other things like that. So we'd love to hear a little bit quickly about your backgrounds, and then just maybe a quick story about who you guys are supportive with and why it's important.
Vin,
Sure.
take the lead.
All right, great. So I'm here representing Northfield Bank. So I'm the Business Development Officer for Staten Island. As you know, Northfield has been deeply rooted in the Staten Island community since 1887 when it was founded. So Northfield is really a part of the fabric of what makes Staten Island. We've been supportive of countless nonprofits and initiatives all across the island in terms of what we support and how we get involved. Of course, financially, monetarily, we're very supportive of our organizations when they have events and fundraisers and what have you, but also our employees. You should always see Northfield employees at events, whether it's volunteering or attending or giving back, sitting on boards. All of our branch managers sit on boards of local nonprofits. Our executives, myself, we're all involved in a multitude of organizations.
My name is James Thomson. My law office is Thompson Law. So we, in addition to several other practice areas, we represent a number of nonprofits across Staten Island. So we do work intimately with these organizations on their goals, on helping them to execute on them, listening to what their visions are, and then also seeing it play out. In addition to that, over the years, it's been a priority for my organization. I'll also say my prior office, Scamadella, Gervasi, and Casagrande now, which has been involved for decades in the islands community, to make it a point to get out there and as part of our culture to be involved. I think that we all know that the Staten Islands community is tight-knit, business community, not-for-profit, et cetera, and there is so much crossover between business and not-for-profit. You can't go to a fundraiser for a Staten Island not-for-profit without seeing a huge presence from the business community. You can't drive past a Little League without seeing sign upon sign, sometimes leaving no more space on the fence from Staten Island businesses that want to jump in there and support. It's something that we take great pride in being part of, and I know the rest of the community does as well.
Great. As a nonprofit, thank you very much for giving back. Giving Tuesday is important to us, but Giving Tuesday every day, every single day of the year is important. How do you go about, there's so many nonprofits, how do you go about, sometimes you have to say no to certain nonprofits, not because you want to, you just have to. And we understand, but how do you go about, that must be hard to do, right? Just say, no, we can't support you this time, but we'll support you next time. Because we have hundreds and hundreds of people that ask every day. But on Giving Tuesday, volunteering and otherwise, that's an easy ask, or sharing the message. How do you draw the line?
So
it is hard, right?
It's almost impossible, and I think that most business owners are doers. They get started and they get moving by saying yes and trying to do everything they can. And then there comes a point where there's so much coming your way that you have no choice but to say no. And it's frustrating, but then you also say to yourself, hey, it's an opportunity. There are more opportunities coming than one person may be able to handle. That's a good thing. I think that a way to handle that is not necessarily to just give an unqualified no, but to think that, hey, if my plate is full, who is this an opportunity for? And that's why it's important to stay out there and to stay engaged. And if somebody reaches out, not-for-profit, saying that they can use a hand in some way, maybe if I personally don't have the time, somebody from my team may, or a client that I know may, or somebody else who's in the business community that mentioned they'd like to get involved more, maybe they will. So I would say that if something comes your way, an opportunity from a nonprofit that you believe in, if you can't personally give time, give money, it doesn't mean that you can't help out by maybe directing somebody who can be a real asset.
And it's not always about writing the check. Sometimes, like you said, budgets get tight, especially towards the end of the year, but it's not always about writing that check. Maybe if you can't support monetarily, you can share with a friend, or you can donate your time, just become an advocate share a social media post. Sometimes that goes a long way. Anything you can do, there's so many different ways to give. And I think nonprofits will be appreciative of anything that you're able to do. Like I said, whether it is make a referral, or it's not a great fit for me this time of year, but I have this friend who could do it, or I know this business who would be more than happy to get involved. Like I
Is there a
said,
story you want to share about a nonprofit that you worked with?
I'm sorry. I'm saying
Okay.
it again.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
We could cut
Let me know
that.
if you need. Let me know if you want water.
Okay, was this the share a story?
No,
Right?
no.
No, I'm looking. Is there, okay, so Vinny, is there a story you want to share about a recent project you worked with a nonprofit?
We're involved in so many nonprofits as Northfield Bank. We're very, Northfield Bank, we partner with so many different nonprofits. We offer financial literacy for their constituents, for our own customers. Northfield also has the Northfield Foundation, which gives grants to a host of charitable organizations across the island. We've expanded into Brooklyn and New Jersey as well over the years, but our home is still Staten Island. Our focus is Staten Island. My focus, at least in the bank, is Staten Island. But we're a true partner to small business on Staten Island. Like Jimmy said, our customers are our neighbors. We support our neighbors, whether it's a Little League or an autism group, the Feeding the Hungry. Northfield has been very dedicated, and that's really part of our legacy.
Also a sponsor of our Staten Island Advanced Women of Achievement program,
That's right.
scholarship program that started last year. Thank you for that.
Sure. Even prior to myself working at the bank, I would always see Northfield's logo at every event and Northfield employees at every event, and I always knew that's a place that I could see myself working one day, and here I am.
That's great. It's a
Yeah.
good story. One of the things that we've been asking people as they've come in here is just to share a little bit of advice or a few words about just being kind and why it's important to give back to our island.
It costs nothing to be nice. Right?
That's a good one. That's a good point.
No, I think Jimmy and I come from similar backgrounds, both Catholic school kids in Staten Island. We went to St. Peter's High School. We're both on the board of St. Peter's High School. And I can tell you from my experience, just watching my parents. My parents were big volunteers at my church and my school, and they didn't think twice about stepping up. And my dad coaching or running the sports program, my mom volunteering to start a children's choir, my grandmother singing in the choir, my grandfather in the Knights of Columbus. Just by watching, by seeing what they did, I learned that it's just second nature. Just give back. It costs nothing to be nice. I'm just going to say that again.
Now, I think it's tough being a business owner. Your day is not always on a linear path. Things come up, frustrations come up. Sometimes they can last over time and they can drain you and make you wonder why you're doing this. And a not-for-profit that's near and dear to my heart is Snug Harbor Little League. And I was talking to a business owner who's a friend recently who sponsored a team and forgot about it and was going through a tough time at his business. And his team that he sponsored won the championship. He had no idea. And he said that a few of the kids just showed up at his business one day with the trophy and gave it to him, and it made his day. And he placed it on his desk and reminded him part of the reason why he started going into business to begin with. I think that when you give, you can receive. You do receive back, often in unexpected ways and maybe ways that are more valuable than you would anticipate.
I think it's the little things that make us smile, right? But Grace, it's not what we do every day. It's just the thank you or the smile from our participants, the high five or the special handshake. And that's what drives me, just knowing that you're doing something that makes a difference to somebody else. It's not just about ourselves. Selfishly, it's like you're giving back. It's amazing that you could put a smile on someone's face and, wow, I did that. And it really didn't take much to do.
Yeah, it reinforces and it's reaffirming that we're doing the right thing, we're on the right path. This is why we do this.
And there are so many great not-for-profits across this island with a variety of purposes. I would just say if somebody's not involved or if they're looking to get more involved, take a second, go on Google, look at what is out there. There are just so many different organizations doing great things that almost anybody should be able to connect with one of them, if not more.
Without a doubt. That's why we say, and we want everybody to say, Giving Tuesday. It's not just Tuesday, it's every day.
That's right.
Right? Your turn to say it.
Giving Tuesday is, what was I saying?
Giving Tuesday every day. Giving Tuesday.
Last question.
Yeah.
Giving Tuesday every day.
Giving Tuesday, every day.
James Thomson, Vincent Innocente, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Sure.